I think I need to run back to this participation in capitalism thing.
Sure.
I don't know. I can't speak for other people's values. There are a lot of dumb fuck lefties. I don't know how much they get misinterpreted, but for me personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with an individual maximizing their outcomes within an unethical system like capitalism.
Vaush just said he doesn't have a problem with someone maximizing their outcomes in an unethical system.
Yes.
So that's a really, really complicated line because there's lots of. It's like, so to what degrees on both of those things?
He said
limits,
maximize.
right?
That's a pretty extreme statement.
I guess what I'm thinking is like, so in the case of I don't know, I find a wallet on the floor. Do I take the money out of it? Do I put it in? And it's like, or do I maximize myself? I'd be like, wait,
the wallet thing comes up. They talk about it.
My immediate thing would be, consider the hypothetical. You live in, I don't know, you live in Nazi Germany. You can maximize your personal outcomes by killing more, Jewish people.
Oh my God.
Like that is your way of maximizing your outcome. And
it
it's
is
like,
an unethical system.
Yeah, right. Like that's the issue. It's like, well, but you're making it more unethical by maximizing your benefit from participating in it.
True.
So yeah, I think maybe he misspoke with maximize. Instead, what he meant maybe was like improve. Because
improve is a weasel word. You can get out of that.
Yeah.
Well, he should be saying improve because that would be. I think we all agree that within certain systems, there's certain decisions you could make. That's what I mean. You have to. How could you conclude otherwise? To say you should maximize in all cases in the unethical system. It's like, whoa.
Well, the problem is, I think his response would be, no, I didn't say you should. I said that it's not a problem if you do.
That's.
No,
he does say that. He does say that exact line of.
Yeah, that's where I would just be like, can we move on from that? Like, I don't know. If someone did say like, I found a wallet and I need money, and so I took it out and left it instead of handing it into like the local police station or looking for a number inside the wallet, I'd probably be like, I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's complicated because like that guy, like it's his stuff, whoever it or hers, whatever, and it's like you easily had the power to get it back to them. And how would you like it if you dropped your wallet
right?
And somebody took the money instead of letting it back to you and stuff? And it's like, But what I'm suggesting there is like, I've already stumbled on this system of like how you should behave based on what your gains could be in this. Even though that's not necessarily relating to capitalism, it's just like a scenario in which you can benefit to yourself, or you can give back to another person, or give it. It's like, surely I would weasel out of this. I'd be like, oh, it's case by case. I don't know.
Right. And in terms of the wallets thing, I would imagine you'd say, well, he's not, when he says an unethical system, he's talking about capitalism.
Yeah.
And so the example I would say is, well, okay, so if you hire someone to work for you, then basically you're saying it's okay to just pay them whatever the minimum wage, the most exploitive wage you can pay them. You should just do it because you're maximizing your profit.
It's okay to maximize your, And of course, now I'm thinking about other things like, I don't know, you live in like 1860s America, and you're like, slavery is bad. However, I don't have a problem with you maximizing your wealth from participating in slavery, as it's the system that exists. That's fucking absurd.
Right.
The more apt example
that comes
would
up
be
actually.
Like,
we should point out too that Vaush has an extremely low bar for an unethical system. Like any robust capitalist system with a functioning social safety net, he would call unethical, just merely for the fact that it's capitalist.
Yes.
And yeah, to get closer, I guess, to the point, then it would be like if you are, we don't want to go high level. You're one above lowest worker, and you set some hours for some people in your toy store or something, and you know that the work's on, I don't know, a Saturday is no, it wouldn't be Saturday. Let's just say Tuesday. I don't know. They're just the lowest hours. Barely anyone around. You barely have to do anything, and they always take those hours for themselves, and they crank their hours in overtime in those ones. So they're just maximizing their own position at the cost of everyone else. Because I mean, hey, the system's this way. This is the way it is, and someone else is going to do this if you don't do it right. Like it's
that is now, yeah, that is like the worst part. Somebody else will do it, so I should do it. Like that is like the worst argument.
Yeah, we'll probably have to go over
any position.
More examples of that. But again, if I had a friend who said, "Yeah, I do that because it's so," like, and they're bragging, they're like, "It's so awesome! I get to have the easy hours while everyone else can fuck off." And you find out they work with like someone who's disabled as well, or something.
With that guy.
And and I'd just be like, dude, maybe, I don't know. At that point, I would appeal to them, just being like, don't you feel guilty?
J Mac for another $50. Jeez, shit. Thank you, Jay. You need to calm down. I'm starting a charity for the betterment of objectivity and homes for long men. There's lots of work to be done,
Aw.
but nobody wants to talk about it.
I like the idea that the home for long men, there's just really long beds, really high roofs. It's just
It's a giant hallway. It's really long. It's
long,
like,
yeah. The
Oh, yeah,
TV
and I
is
wanna-
like really long.
I'd want to clarify that some of the stuff we've been talking about doesn't necessarily destroy any particular person's argument. I'm just enjoying the discussion in
No,
general.
it does.
Mhm.
It does. It destroys their arguments. It destroys
my
all
God.
socialist bread tubers, leftists.
We should put "destroy" in the title of the video.
Yes.
I feel
Oh, yeah.
obligated now.
I was just going to say, you just need to be careful saying, yes, you should maximize your position in an unethical system. Be like, whoa.
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
Totally.
Green God for £5 says, I love universe crossovers. I hope the long man will be in Supervillains Anonymous in some capacity.
Possibly.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who truly knows?
Especially if they're socialist, because it increases the likelihood that they'll be able to achieve political and economic power.
Does that mean
I would love it if we had socialists who were go-getter business majors. So when the day
What?
comes or something, we
Yeah,
have
but-
people in legitimate positions of power, as opposed to a bunch of college students and
But as the meme goes, power corrupts.
And
Right.
like, it's just weird because it's like, well, what if they're causing loads of harm? It's like, well, is he arguing it's worth it? Because, like, from his perspective, by the way, obviously not mine, is it worth it because ultimately they might help in the war to come?
Man, now I'm
What are you
just thinking
saying?
about in Wall Street, the movie, there's a character called Lou. He is like the noble stockbroker. As opposed to Gordon Gekko is obviously like this sort of,
Impossible.
so that he has many lines of wisdom. Like and then there's a part where Bud, who's main character, Charlie Sheen, comes in, he's like, oh, I got a winner for you, this stock. It's like a sure thing. And then I think Lou says, like, there are no sure things, like what's going on, like what we're doing here in this firm is like good. We're making research jobs and funding people's retirements. Don't sell that out. And Bud says, yeah, but you gotta be a big player first, then you can be like a pillar of the community and do
Right.
good things. To which Lou says you can't get a little bit pregnant. And it's like, yeah, that's right. It's yeah, oh cool. I'll do all the evil things, become rich, then I'll do good. It's like
Right.
that doesn't tend to be how it works.
Yeah, there's,
most of the time.
though I would want to push back with some possible exceptions. The one we brought up a couple of times is
Bill
the
Gates,
idea
I
of
guess. Like,
you wouldn't. So again, I'm going to step on some people's toes here potentially, and that's fine.
Uh-oh.
You don't do Raid Shadow Legends sponsors because it's a predatory fucking. I know Destiny does them, so like,
Really?
it's a predatory mobile game. It's designed to fucking steal your wallet
Oh
from you.
my
Essentially, it's really
God.
poor. Look, I have harsh views on mobile games. I've watched Toll Biscuit for so long.
Freemium games.
Have you
Yeah,
seen
fuck
this?
them. They're all
have you-
designed to prey on you and your
True. It's very true.
standard like dopamine.
Have you watched
dependence.
this video, Mahler?
This one, I think
Yeah.
I have. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I've seen
Because
it.
I can't remember
Destiny's
if I've seen
going
the whole
on
thing
and
or
on
not.
about how ethical he is with all his sponsors, and you're just totally
Well, he just
Well,
said he doesn't
in
support
fairness,
gambling. He didn't say anything about Raid Shadow.
yeah.
Well, I'm
He
pretty
said
sure
he
they might
didn't do
have
the
loot box
CS:GO thing.
mechanics
They
inside
bring up
that,
the
though.
CS.
Oh, maybe.
Like, yeah, I'm not sure if they do, but there's a good chance you could probably buy something in fucking Raid Shadow Legends. It's like, oh, it has a random chance to give you 5 crystals or 10 crystals or
I'll
20
look it
crystals.
up.
Oh my
Right.
God.
Who knows? My point is,
slot
I would
machine
happily.
marketing.
But the thing is, I don't know. This is so interesting to fall back on. I don't know that Destiny considers that unethical to promote.
Right.
If he did know and was doing it, that would be worse.
Right.
That circles back to our opening. How wonderful. But yeah, so where I was going with that was that I would never I don't do sponsorships anyway, but like if I was to accept them, that would be one of my no-goes. But then they said, okay, 10,000 for doing it? Like, no. 100,000? It's like, and then it's like, so you have a limit when it comes to money, huh? And it's like, well, no, because it's gone beyond. It was never about how it benefits me. It's like, whoa, if they give me like $1 million, I could
Donate
fund
a
a
huge chunk of
it's
that
like,
to
yeah, I could
charity.
fund like a hospital or some shit. I could like this.
Right, but are you?
All those
Well-
you could fund your hospital with all that gambling money from those 12-year-olds.
I was going to say the proof in the pudding thing. Like, if I actually went through with it, that's not really the point I'm making. Is just you could have this fundamental principle of I would never do this thing. It's like, but what if it enabled this other thing that you consider to be a really a greater good?
Mhm.
Yeah, trade-off.
And I think in that case it's so blatant because it's money changes hands, and now that is, you've got it. Meanwhile, it's like, yeah, you can fuck over a lot of people if you make a lot of money to eventually further socialist issues. We're like, that seems so disconnected almost.
Yeah.
Because they're very direct in regard
Yeah.
to socialism. It's not like the example you said, where it's like, oh, mobile game transforms into hospital.
Maybe socialism
and-
works out. Maybe it doesn't. I become a billionaire in the process. You can always
Well-
step away.
The real problem I have with that argument is kind of what Fringy was saying, is that's like the most common rationalization people give for being unethical when they're climbing the hierarchy. They're saying, oh, once I get to the top of this mountain, I'm going to be the just king.
I
And
think- I
history
think
has
it's
shown
called-
us it's very
Yeah.
unlikely that ever happened.
Also,
I think there's a word for it. It's like one day itis or something. One day I'll.
Right.
and someone in chat said, you say what you want about Raid, but it's funded loads of YouTubers to be able to let them do what they can do. Would you be saying that if it was an app about harvesting children's souls? It's like, there's a
Well,
limit. There's a
Fundamentally,
limit.
Like, where the hell do
So-
you think the money's coming from? You fucking know, like, that some of that money is coming from people who ruin their lives on these games.
And yeah, so I just want to, like, we all know that argument isn't good enough. It's contextual. It's like, you think
Yeah.
the harm done from promoting Raid is worth it for keeping some YouTubers afloat, which I'm not sure I agree with that.
Well, I
Um,
mean, again, the whole thing of keeping them afloat or enriching them. Maybe
Yeah, 'cause
some
I
of
think
them
that
were
there's
kept
a lot of
afloat, but, yeah.
If you do your research, you can go and find all kinds of things that are willing to sponsor YouTubers. If you reach out to them, they'll be like, "Oh shit, yeah, I didn't even know
Yeah,
you
like
existed."
promote something ethical, like Audible or Skillshare, just one of the normal ones. You know what I mean? Like the ones
What's
that
the
actually provide a service.
Raycon,
The earphones,
even
yeah.
Skillshare, from what I understand, Skillshare's a good service.
Skillshare's
I
alright,
think.
yeah. It's
not
okay.
fucking not Blinkist, all right? Don't promote.
No, fuck Blinkist.
We promote Audible all the time, and we don't have a deal with them.
Children aren't fully human yet. Harvest away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
all
fair.
those kids losing their souls to Audible, listening to
I like
books
this.
on-
I assume it's a meme, but it's like, well, souls aren't real. It's like, you fuck. I'm.
No
Fine, harvest
shit.
their blood. Are you happy now?
Where do you think free will comes from, guys? Okay.
Yeah, come on.
No one for $100. Wow. Holy shit. Thank you, no one. Says we got up to some shenanigans yesterday in the CM Discord, which is the centrist militant Discord, militia Discord, which is an unofficial fan Discord ran by Felix, and says I made an art depicting of Chris Hansen suplexing Kevin Spacey.
Oh my
S
God.
class is best class. thanks for your awesome community, guys. Also for Mahler, Halloween is better than Christmas.
Yay! The correct
There you
take.
go.
True.
You understand that,
Commune.
like, with that mentality, you could never criticize Bezos again, though, right?
Well, I don't criticize Bezos. I tend
Really?
to criticize. Okay, hold on. It's entirely possible that I've misspoke. Generally speaking, and I do hold to this, I try to criticize the systems that allow people like Bezos to exist. Now, there have definitely been times where I've said, like, fucking Bezos, but I don't really think I levy my criticisms at individuals and how they use the system, you know?
Okay, that's interesting because, like, so what you're giving me right now is the most capitalist take. So
How
people, actually, Devin Nash made this argument to me a long time ago, which was funny. But basically, the idea is that if you want to do good things, you should live as the most brutal, ruthless capitalist in the world, so that you can amass as much money as possible, and then using that money, you leverage it for good causes.